I don't get to instruct the world from a place of greater life experience very often, so you'll have to indulge me here. For you see, I've been social distancing since you were doing jello shots at high school parties. I've been staying home for days at a time, long before it was fashionable or even slightly beneficial. I've got a PhD in hermit life. This is all absolutely nothing to me. You all are trying to learn freestyle with floaties on, and I'm Michael Phelps. I've been training for this quarantine for my whole life, and so now I'm here to help you. I've learned from experience that there is a right and a wrong way to shut yourself off from the outside world. There are tactics that keep you sane and productive, and as 21-year-old me found in much of my past, there are also tactics that turn you into a socially incompetent weirdo who has lost all touch with reality. So, take it from me. This is how you quarantine while leading a productive, mentally healthy, enjoyable life. 1. For the love of God, give your life some variety. So you're about to see the exact same place over and over, wear the same basic things over and over, eat the same things over and over, and do the same things over and over. Fuck. That isn't great. Pretty quickly, you're going to look at your front door and feel a subconscious tinge of, ugh, there's my fucking front door again. You'll feel trapped, stuck in a fog of monotony, and you'll slowly start to lose your mind. Some degree of this is kind of inevitable. Sorry. What you can do is mitigate this by filling your day with a nice variety of healthy, enjoyable, beneficial things to do. This is the key to staying sane and starting to live a functional life, even while stuck in between the same four walls. Here are just some suggestions for what you can do. Exercise. Meditate. Finally shut your friends up by watching Game of Thrones. Read books. Read updates on what's happening in the world and die inside a little. Teach yourself to cook, you domestic derelict. Play video games. Organize the 50,000 photos you have in your phone that you've never looked at. Redecorate every week or so that your place feels less like a prison cell and more like a fun prison cell. Call your grandparents. Try on different outfits and record which ones look totally cute. Free creative time. Do whatever. Write a poem from the virus's perspective. Draw a picture of your dog with crayons. Cave paint on your bathroom wall so that when this is all over, aliens will know what happened in 1,000 years. Reach out to chat with like 10 different people. Work towards your big life projects. Giggle at some dope-ass quarantine memes. Play every board game that you have. Try weird food combos. Put jam on your microwaved burrito. I don't know, man. Go for weird shit. Look for new music to listen to. Play with your dogs. Become one of those insufferable people over the age of 14 on TikTok. Go ahead and vacuum again. Load up on foods you haven't tried on your grocery runs, and then try them. Who knows what a golden berry tastes like? Now you will. Practice a craft. Guitar, sewing, building toilet paper castles, whatever you can get into. Journal about this wild indoor adventure you're currently experiencing. We'll go into more detail on these in a second, but wow! Look at all of those. Imagine how diverse your life can still be. Think of all the different things you can do in a given day, and consider how not fucking crazy you'll go if that's actually what you commit to doing. 2. Scheduling. Your path to a normal feeling life. When you live as a hermit, there's a huge risk of your life becoming aimless, because there's nothing that you technically need to do right now. And even widely varying activities like the ones I mentioned above feel less varied because they're all taking place between the same four walls. This is why living with a schedule on quarantine is so important. Let's look at an example. If you don't have working out scheduled for after lunch, then instead of working out, you'll internally resort to the most toxic question in the modern first world: what do I want right now? That's hard to figure out when you don't have specific plans, so you'll sit on your couch and try to think of what sounds good, and nothing will, so you'll just blankly scroll on your phone for 1 or 6 hours. This is your one-way ticket to getting depressed as fuck and wasting your quarantined life. Don't buy that ticket and don't get on that train. Or any train right now, for that matter. Scheduling is magical this way. Scheduling makes your day feel like its own individual journey and not just an endless mass of barely conscious depression. So plan out your day with a nice variety of these activities. If it's in your schedule, then the schedule, not the whims of your immediate desires, is your determining factor for what to do. This is what makes your life feel real and varied and tangible and important, and keeps it from being an interminable pajama and cookie dough and phone scrolling blob of nothingness. Enforcing variety and abiding by a schedule are how your life can still feel kind of normal. 3. Stay home together. So here's the good news. The solution to this is in no way you being fully isolated for like 4 months or however long this shit is going to take. All that would do is create a second pandemic of loneliness and depression. There's a reason why solitary confinement makes people lose their shit, and that doesn't really go away just because you're not technically in prison and can currently scroll through your Insta thoughts. So, first off, the time is now to develop your quarantine family. These are the people you'll exclusively see in person throughout this whole process. So you'll quarantine together, and none of you will visit other people until you can trust that they've also been exclusively quarantining for the full 2 weeks necessary. Yes, your Q fam can grow, but only when everyone follows the damn rules. So you'll hold each other accountable for staying in, you'll rely on each other, and you'll play Monopoly together. But secondly, your social life can extend far beyond your quarantined family. In fact, here's a perspective you might not have considered. Your quarantine is likely the best opportunity you've had to build a social life in a very long time. That sounds weird, but it's true. Let me explain. If I were writing this article 150 years ago, and you didn't have a family or roommates or anything, I'd probably tell you to draw a picture with a quill and an ink pot and start talking to it a lot Castaway style. Because that's how important a base level of human interaction is. I'm not sure how they survived without social interaction during the Black Plague. My guess is they couldn't, they interacted anyway, and that's why everybody fucking died. Fortunately, you have the wonders of technology, so use them. Call people all the time, reach out via IM, text people, have the longest conversation you've had in years with your high school bestie. You're not bothering anyone. What are they doing? Waiting for their vegetable soup to cook? Throwing a toy for their dog? Working from home? Ha! Fuck that! They can talk to you! And it's not even like you guys have nothing to talk about. There's a whole fucking plague out there. Sure, it's breaking down the foundations of society, but it can also break the ice. This also works for dating. You shouldn't go on any actual dates in a while, but man, what a time to start a lengthy back and forth, to hone your emoji usage, to build a real, conversation-based bond with someone. What a romantic start to a lifelong relationship, to have been pen pals during the Great Plague of 2020. Granted, there are likely to be some nudes swapped back and forth in there as well, but you don't have to tell your grandkids about that part. Again, it's counterintuitive, but also 100% true. Staying inside for several months can be just the boost that your social life needs. So, look, you can get through this. Just make sure you avoid monotony as much as possible, you schedule your day and live as consciously as possible, and you hold your loved ones close. But, not literally. And mostly, as a wise man once said, stay the fuck home.